Good morning everybody, welcome back to another video. So as you probably guessed by the thumbnail, this video is slightly different. I'm here in Warwickshire. I am at Dunchurch Pools Marina and I'm going to be doing a bit of camping on the water. Well, sort of. I'm quite excited about this one because it's something I haven't done for a long time, since I was a child, and it has a very special significance to me, this particular trip. So I'm here out for 5 days out at the marina, and as you can see behind me, we are in a marina of narrow boats, and so I've come here to pick up the boat, so let's go and find the boat. Okay, so this is where the boat should be located. And I think there it is. That's the boat. That we'll be having. So welcome to Huxley. It's been a long time since I've been on one of these. I'm really stoked and really excited to have a go at this, if not a little bit nervous. And I've just been informed that Huxley has had a brand new paint job, so not too much pressure there then. And behind me you can see all the other boats in the marina. It's quite a big marina. Yeah, and as you can see, as usual, the great British weather has done us proud and not let me down, and the rain's kicked in on the first day. But hey ho, I'm just here waiting now for the rest of the party to turn up, and if I can get onto the pontoon without falling in. Yeah, so we're waiting for the rest of the party to turn up, and then I guess we're going to go through the manual, learn a few ropes, pardon the pun, and take it from there and see how it goes. So I shall bring you back and explain why this is so important to me and has a special significance a little bit later on, over the next few days. So just a quick tour of the inside of Huxley before everyone else turns up and it's too crowded to film. Double bed there, space for 2 tables, and then behind me sofa bed, the bow TV with satellite apparently, and then through here to the galley, kitchen with full-size oven, sink and a microwave, and then through, well this is tight, to the bathroom, shower and toilet and sink, and then another double bed, and then out the door to the stove. With this trip we were given several guidebooks and this is the one we've used because we chose the Oxford stroke Grand Union Canal. In the front you've got a key that tells you the different routes, and you can see here these circles with the numbers in it, and that essentially tells you the number of hours to get from one section to another. So we started at Dunchurch Pools Marina. That's where we picked the boat up from. Weather was appalling. Reversed out, made a bit of a gaff for that, but we did get out in the end, and we then turned right, which obviously is south because there's north, and we made our way down here, and you can see these numbers here, 83, 84 and 85, and they are the numbers of the bridges, and all the bridges have numbers on them, so you get to follow the map and have an idea exactly where you are location wise along the route. So got to 87, and then we come through here on the next page. Let's just move that across. Came up through here, and then when we got to here, which is Braunston Junction, you can see there's a large junction there. We turned right and came down the Oxford stroke Grand Union Canal, and you can see here these light coloured mooring posts. That tells you that they are public mooring and it's free, and you can moor there. Some are restricted to so many hours, some are restricted to several days. We moored up there because the weather was appalling. I was absolutely drenched, and I think I was bordering on hypothermia. I was so cold. So we just called it a short day and moored up there for the night. So Finley's currently trying to catch breakfast this morning for us all. There's a good chance that we might possibly go hungry, but we do have some crumpets in the fridge for backup just in case. Good morning everybody, welcome back. So just had the first night moored up. Tell you a little bit about yesterday. We didn't leave till sort of like early to mid-afternoon yesterday from Dunchurch Pools Marina. The weather was rubbish, to be honest. It wasn't very good weather at all. It was howling wind, howling rain, and wasn't very nice at all. So I had to reverse out the marina. Boat going past. I had to reverse out in the marina. The first bit went okay, but the second bit, when I tried to turn around to go forward, didn't work out very well, and it was very windy, which drifted us over. So I made a bit of a muck up, shall we say, of that. But we got through it, got out the marina, and then we turned right, which is south, down the Oxford Canal, and we headed towards Braunston. We haven't gone very far at all really. Got to Braunston Junction and then decided to turn at the junction and go along the Oxford stroke Grand Union Canal, and we have moored up just past Braunston. We didn't go very far to be honest, because the weather was so bad, and standing outside even just for a few hours. I bought my Rab lightweight backpacking jacket, which is clearly not man enough for the job when you're standing still on a boat in driving wind and rain, and I felt like I had hypothermia last night. So we decided to call it a day and moor up. So today we're off straight down here, the Grand Union Canal, and then we're on our way to Knapton on the Hill. And I believe at Knapton on the Hill there is a series of 9 locks, which is making me feel a little bit nervous, I'm going to have to say. This it's not as easy as I mean, I have done sailing before and got qualifications in sailing, but helming a narrow boat that's 58 foot long is not particularly easy, and it's not particularly responsive. So and some of these canals are really narrow, and when you're trying to get past somebody, you've got boats that are moored up and then you've got two boats trying to pass, that's a little tricky. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to the handling of the boat, but we've got a few more days to go, so we'll see how it goes. So hopefully you saw some fishes today of where we've been. We're now moored up here, a little bit on the corner, but I think we're okay. And now we're just before the Napton locks, which is a set of 9 locks, and once you start you can't stop. So we've stopped here because apparently, reportedly, there's been a very nice pub to go to, and it's been highly recommended that cheesy chips by this gentleman here is the best, one of the top dishes. Apparently it's proper decent cheese, so we'll see how we go. So this is inside the potting shed. We're going to be sitting there. It's very nice.
That's it. Need more big family.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, really? That's really heavy, isn't it?
So we visited the Folly. The owners and the people in there were very nice, very friendly. They were just closing up for food, but did allow us to order something to eat, so that was very kind of them. They brought it over, and I had one of the best burgers I've had in a very long time, so highly recommended. I washed that down with a couple of pints, and then we decided to go back to the boat, and we had moored on a bend just before the Napton flight of locks, which is a flight of 9 locks. Although Pete, the volunteer, said we were okay being there because it wasn't particularly busy, I felt a little bit uncomfortable with it, so we actually decided, especially after 2 pints of cider, gave me a bit of Dutch courage, and we decided to go through the first lock and moor just the other side of that bridge behind me, in between the first and the second lock, and we're spending the night there. I did say at the beginning of this video that this video has something, has a special significance to me, and that is because something or someone I want to share some information about, and that is somebody called Reginald Ellmer, and he was my uncle, and that's him. I'll put a picture up now. And you can see him, he's on the left with the moustache, and on the right is actually my father. I think it's his wedding day. And he unfortunately died in 2018, but was a big influence in my life. The last time I was actually on a canal boat was actually with him. and I spent many years doing lots of different activities with him. He was in the military police. He loved motorbikes, and he had plenty of quite a few motorbikes over the years. He did have one with a sidecar that he took me in when I was a young child. It was absolutely petrifying and scared me to death. He was a boxer, and he boxed in the Burgess Hill Boxing Club, and also I believed he boxed in the military police as well. There's some pictures of that with him winning a cup. I'm guessing he obviously won his fight. And he was a man that, let's just say, didn't suffer fools gladly. There was no ambiguity there about where you were and where you stood with him. But he was a great uncle, and he was very supportive. Used to take me to a swimming club, but his real love was boats. He built boats, as in model boats. He was very good at it, and I think I've got some pictures of his boats which I shall overlay. And he actually made one for me and gave me my very first model boat, which was fantastic. He used to take it down the local lagoon and sail it across the lagoon. He was also a fantastic sailor, and he spent much of his life sailing boats, and he taught me and my brother to sail, and my cousin Tammy, and I think I've got a picture which I shall show you now of us as children. That was at a particular sailing weekend. He used to take us away for sailing weekends with the sailing club. We would go and camp somewhere, we'd stay in a youth hostel and then sail back down the river. We'd sail out to sea. Sometimes we did some racing as well, and he got me into the sailing club, and I actually did a couple of qualifications and passed as a sailor. So day 2, we left Braunston here, just by the side of Braunston Junction. We came down here, all the way along here, and then over to the next page. This also gives you a guide of all the areas that you're visiting as well. And that came along here through Lower Stockbridge, all the way down to past Napton Junction and Wigram's Termarina, and also Napton Boats, which is a large hire place there for boats if you want to hire your own boat. All the way through here and round up, and we initially moored there at this mooring post. There's a turning point there, we were just past there. This is a very sharp bend, and it tells you to do it with care. Moored there, went to the Folly pub, as you would have I would have shown you already, but we were actually a little bit on the corner, just within the boundaries of overnight mooring. Further on you're not allowed to moor, but we were a little bit on the corner and felt a little bit exposed. So after a couple of pints of Dutch courage, we decided to go through the first lock, and then we moored here between locks 8 and 9 and spent the night there, which was quite nice. Well, good morning everybody. So, peaceful night in between the first and second locks at Napton on the Hill flight. Had a bit of breakfast, walked down the shop this morning to grab a few supplies, and now we are just gone through the 2 locks already this morning, and we're just heading towards through the third one of the day. I think we've got 8 to do in total because we did one yesterday, so another 6 to go yet. Yeah, I think I'm getting the knack of getting in and out the locks. The others are off. Their chief in charge of preparing the locks ready for me. It was raining this morning, but it seems to be brightening up. Weather forecast is a bit mixed today, but nothing like yesterday, which is actually glorious considering the weather forecast was supposed to be pretty bad, but it turned out to be a fantastic day yesterday. So we are leaving Napton on the Hill, where the Folly was, where we went for a meal yesterday lunchtime or after late afternoon, and now we are on our way to think it's Finney Compton. I'll put it up on the screen if I've got that wrong. So off there, once we get through this stretch, we've got I think about a 9-mile lock-free stretch to do, so that'd be quite nice and stress-free, a little bit of leisurely cruising. Get to Finney Compton and then we'll see what we're going to do from there, whether we stay or whether we continue. At some point within the next, either today, the end of today, or part of the way through tomorrow, we need to think about turning around and heading back. Certainly not looking forward to the turning around part, that's going to be a challenge, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it and we'll see how we go. We have just moored up after doing the locks, and you can see behind me at certain points along the canal are signs, and I think when you're on a canal you get a license, and that license includes keys that access you to free water, rubbish areas and some toilets. So what we're doing now is that we've decided to stop and fill up water. There's the key lock for the water, and then we're just filling up the tank, which apparently holds 200 gallons, which is a fair amount of water, but when there's 5 or 6 of you on a boat, I suppose that won't take very long to use up, especially if you're having lots of showers and etc. So
A hot tub. Little wood burner at the end.
sorry, that's nice. Look at that.
The wood burner to go over the water.
Oh yeah, wood-fired hot tub or bath. Proper outdoor living that is.
I wonder what they've done with that, if that's been made into like a toilet system.
Okay, this is a tight squeeze for 2 boats. Just test my tiller skills. Is that steam? Is that steam? Going under 130 now.
You don't want to get further, it's really
There's a very sharp a U-bend. Yeah, that's a really sharp bend.
Titanic, you need to sing. Be careful, he's obviously going that way.
Are you going to go that way round then? Lost the circle one way.
make me feel sick. You're not going to do it. You haven't got enough to get round.
You need to go in there.
I don't really think you should actually moor in a turning point. Nobody's watching. Brilliant job, well done. Where we were, they're going a bit further past the boats. Brilliant job, brilliant. I felt sick watching you. Captain Tony's going past. Do you want me to get you a pint in?
Yes, please. After three.
Hi everybody. So you just would have seen that turn, which after watching a number of YouTube videos, that's not how to do a turn. I tried to follow the instructions, but I just couldn't get it to work, but we did manage to turn in the end. And after that, I'm now in the pub, gonna have a few pints. We've moored up for the night, ready for the journey back. And that's me done, so I'm glad I've got that out of the way. I haven't got to do it again, so I can just chill out and relax and enjoy the rest of the evening and the journey back. And cheers. Okay, so day 3 from mooring point between 8 and 9. We came up through the Romanian locks all the way around here, and Stephen and Debbie, who were with us in our party, they walked all the way up, all the way along here, which is a little bit of a walk to cover all the locks, and then we stopped up the other side here. You see there's a 50 turning point there, that's no good for us, but what we did do is moor up here, and then we refilled with water. So after filling up with water, we carried on. Let's just turn over. And we came through this is a 9-mile stretch. You'll see at the top of the page here, it tells you where there's 9 miles, 0 locks, approximately 3 hours. It did take us longer because I was going a bit slower than some others, but I preferred to take it slower and we weren't in any rush. We came through this, and I have to say this was lovely countryside, but it was very, very windy. There are some very sharp bends and some very narrow areas here, making passing quite challenging, particularly if you look down here at 131. There's a almost literally a U-shaped bend and a bridge in the middle of it, where a bridge is only large enough, just a few inches either side, to get your boat through it. So when you're doing this sharp bend, turning into the bridge and out of the bridge is quite challenging. But on top of that, if you've got somebody coming the other opposite direction, you would have to be very, very careful. Past a wooden bridge, it's called the Wedding Bridge, and it had that written on it, and I'm guessing that's to do with people having wedding photos on it. All the way through here, and then down to Fenny Compton. We decided that we were going to turn here, and so we turned in this turning point, which I may have shown you that footage, which was rubbish, and then we went back under the bridge and moored here where this light coloured post is, and then we went to the wharf inn for an evening meal. Morning everybody, another fine day. So we're just leaving Fenny Compton after doing our interesting turn, which you may have seen in a previous clip, and we're now going to make our way back to where the Folly was. I can't remember the name of the town now. What was the name of the town? Can you remember it? The village? No, I can't remember. Napton on the Hill. So we're off back to Napton on the Hill. So I don't think my Uncle Reg will be too impressed with my turn. I think he would certainly have a few choice words to say to me about my my turning skills. So I'm glad he's not going to see that. So it's a bit embarrassing. But anyway, we're off for another fine day. Hopefully the weather's going to hold today, and then we're going to go back through those set of 9 locks and hopefully more up the other side and spend another night in Napton on the Hill, and then decide what we do after that. So but yeah, some of these canals are very, very narrow and the banks are very shallow, so it's it can be a bit tricky, and there's some really tight hairpin bends, and you don't realise when you're standing at the stern, you know, that 58 foot at the back, how long it is. And when I saw the picture of us doing the turn, it makes you realise actually how long the boat is, because it's quite deceptive when you're standing at the back. But anyway, we're off. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Morning.
Boat coming now, this is where you get, because it's tidy from winter. He's not going over enough. He's on the wrong side, and he's home. Turn. Oh Jesus, Mary, Mother of God. I think we're going to hit each other. Little bump there, little bump. Oh, just a little one. Little bump. Morning. That woke us up. It always is, isn't it? It's always got to be a corner. Morning. Morning.
So the guys up front are opening the lock, and at the back there's a white line for the seal, and that's what you've got to avoid. So hopefully you can see that on the camera when it appears, but a number of boats have caught themselves on the seal, which has led them to damage the propeller and the rudder, and also tip the boat up on a rare occasion. So going down you have to be a little bit more careful than going up. So I'm not really watching the bow, I'm just watching the stern only. I'm just using a little bit of reverse and forward just to control the boat and keep it away from that seal. And there you can start to see the seal appearing, and that's what you just need to be careful of and avoid. And there you get the full view of the seal now. But now we're far enough down to be clear of it and safe. So what we're on day 4. So after staying there the previous night, we then have basically made our way all the way back, all the way down here, through the locks and back to lock 8 and 9, because we find it's a bit quieter here than being down here. It can be quite busy. Morning everybody, welcome back. So today's our penultimate day. We've decided to stay in between the lock, I don't know what number it is now, 8 and 9 I think it is. Anyway, we've got one lock to go tomorrow morning. We've got to go back tomorrow morning. The weather's lovely today. We did think about going down to Braunston, but we know that mooring up has been a bit difficult. There is a few festivals here. They've got a cider music festival this weekend in Napton on the Hill, and the reason we didn't go as far as we wanted to go to Croppedy was because after we'd been to Fenny Compton, we were going to go up to Crompedy, but we didn't because they also have a festival, and apparently there is absolutely nowhere to moor up there at all whatsoever, which is why we turned round at Fenny Compton and then come back. But we're just walking through the village of Napton on the Hill, and it's quite interesting. It's quite a nice country village, some lovely houses with interesting features. There's a thatched roof with a bicycle and a dragon sculpted into it. Quite a few of the houses seem to have trees that are planted in dedication to local villagers that were obviously in various regiments in the Second World War, and they're all along the road outside each house, so that's quite interesting. But we already, as you know, we saw the folly when we come through here the first time, but we're sort of going to make our way, I think it's to the King's Head, which is the other pub at the other side of the village, just to check that out and see what that's like while the weather's good. I think the weather's coming in this afternoon, so just going to make the most of the nice weather we've got at the moment. Cheers. So we went to the King's Head pub. It's a bit of a trek, and it's a little bit uphill and a little bit downhill. It's probably about 40 minutes or so walk from the Canal lock where we're based, but it's a nice day, so we thought we'd go for a pint. On the way back I stopped into the local shop. They've only got the one shop here. It's a shop stroke post office, but I do have to say that it's very, very nice and it's very well stocked. You've got gas in there, you've got fruit, vegetables, bread. It's got a hot counter that does some local produce. You've got Scotch eggs, some Moses, there's pies, there's quiches, there's hot tea and coffee, and use some tables outside that you can sit out. It's also a post office as well. It's got a bakery section. It's got some usual, touristy type bits and pieces in there, but there's things like lemon curd jars, and there's also some gifts. It really is a shop to all everything, and Adam and Hannah were very kind enough to allow me to film inside, so I'm very grateful for that. If you're in Napton Lock, so you're in the local area, go to Napton on Hill and you'll get a very warm welcome from Hannah and Adam at the local post office, and they pretty much got everything you want. If there's something that you want and they haven't got, then it's probably not worth getting, so highly recommended. They also do online orders as well, so I'll put a link in the bottom of the description for their shop, and their details, so you can contact them and do some online orders, because I think they actually do a broader range of items, if that's possible, than what they already do in the shop. Morning everybody. So last day, starting off a bit earlier today to make our way back to the marina so we can get the jobs done the engine checks, everything's working and ticking over so far. So we just got to go through the last lock, so we're just fending off now, go through the last lock and then make our way back to the marina. You're this way. That's it. Now back that way a little bit. Captain Finley. That's it. Now we go straight. That's it. That's it. See where you're going now, yeah? So we've got ourselves a bit of a issue here, bit of gridlock as the boat's come adrift and is on the wrong side. We've just gone past another boat through the last tunnel over there, and there's one there that's completely come untied and is just drifting in the middle of the canal, and this one's obviously for some reason the bow line's come undone, so they're stuck. So we're floating here trying not to end up in the bank, to waiting for them to sort it out so we can go past. That's it. We came in and did the fuel and pump out. That was a bit tricky getting into the dock, but I managed to reverse out spot on like a pro, and I managed to get into our mooring spot in the marina. That was a bit like a pro as well. So somebody commented on how impressed they were, so I didn't tell them that I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but yeah, so it's been a fantastic trip. I don't know what the footage is going to come out like, because trying to control and helm the boat, which is as removable as a brick, as well as trying to video, was really quite challenging, really. And also I had I had family with me as well, so I had to be careful who and where I was filming. So I hope the footage has come out all right. I would like to say that I think the narrowboat community are lovely people. They're very friendly, they're very helpful, they're very forgiving. Like all communities, you always get the odd grumpy one, but generally everybody was pretty nice that we met, and it was very good. It's been a lovely trip. Really enjoyed it. Had its moments of being nerve-wracking, but it's been fantastic. And I would like to say that I do hope that Reg, who is a typical old salty sea dog with a pipe, and I mean that as a compliment to him and his skills and everything he taught me, I hope I haven't let him down too much, and he's somewhere, wherever he is, he's watching me. I know wherever he is, he won't be very far away from water. Yeah, or a pint for that matter, yeah. So I hope I haven't let him down. I've done him proud. It's brought back a lot of fantastic memories. I've been very grateful to experience this again, and I never thought I would, because Debs hates boats and gets seasick, even though it's a canal, and who did very, very well. So thank you very much for letting me have this opportunity again. And I think that's it really. I don't think I've got much else to say. This video is in honour of Reg, who's sorely missed by his brothers and sisters, his daughter, his grandchildren, and the wider family in general. So yeah, great grandchildren even now, yeah. So yeah, this is to you. I tip my hat to you, Reg. I'm going to go to a campsite now, and I'll have a pint and have a toast to you. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you later on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.